I so miss my childhood days, and not just the days where now and laters cost 10 cents a pack, or the days that I tried badly and failed playing double dutch jump rope. But I'm talking about the days even farther back than that. I think the days around, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years old. Those days where, I don't know, I was just free, free to be. I guess those days probably before school started. Those days where I could be creative and nobody had anything negative to say. Nobody wanted to shatter my little girl dreams. Let me know that, oh, you can't do that, or you shouldn't do that, or whatever people have the need to say. When I was younger, there was no fear of failure. There was no concern about being criticized or judged. I didn't even know what that meant, probably. I don't know what being judged meant. But of course, as we get older, we find out. Now that I'm in my 50s and my kids are grown and I'm not working 2 and 3 jobs to try to stay above water, I guess my brain is reflecting on my life. Now I look back and I see so many places I second guessed myself and didn't make choices. I didn't take risks, missed opportunities because I was worried about somebody judging me, somebody criticizing me for wanting to do something. I look back now and I realize that a lot of my life I spent living for others. My choices and my decisions were not my decisions. Or if they were my decisions, they were based on what others would think about me. Living for others essentially has me now at a place in life where I just have a lot of regrets. And I know we can't go through life without regrets. I know we're going to have regrets. Right? And for me, that's not the bad part. That's expected. For me, the bad part is that my regrets come from a place that the choices I made, my choices I made, were based on what other people would think of me. That's what I regret. I regret making my choices based on other people and what they thought of me or what would think of me or would say about me. That's what I regret. If my choices were mine and totally mine, after receiving, advice or whatever, or researching or whatever, and I came to the decision and I made a choice and later I regretted it, that's one thing. I made the choice. So I have to deal with whatever consequences come from that. But my choices, a lot of them, not all of them, of course, but a lot of my choices I made in life were based on what others would think of me because I wanted to live a life when pretty much that I pleased other people. At work, you having to prove yourself, having to, being a black woman on the job, you have to make sure you're not the angry black woman. Anything you do look like they'll classify you as the angry black woman. So you have to be all pleasant so that you're not seen as a troublemaker. Put on your fake smile. Living in fear of not having the approval of others is what kept me, I believe, on jobs that I hated. It kept me in the workforce when I knew I was unhappy. It kept me in the workforce. I'm going to people saying, I'm essentially unhappy, not fulfilled, and people saying, well, try another job, and you know that didn't work. I don't know what it is, and I work for us. A job is a job is a job. At least that's been my experience. The result is the same. I'm still unhappy. I'm still unfulfilled, or I still feel that dread of going every day. I still feel that regret, that anger. But for the fact that I need money, I would not be going to this place. The fact that I need money forces me to have to go to this place. And so living for others, I believe, also kept me in Christianity. It kept me from leaving Christianity. I got to a place where there was a long list of reasons why I left Christianity, but one of them is it wasn't a place I felt I could be myself. I felt that everything in my Christian circle was telling me something is wrong with you or with me. You have to do it this way, this way, this way. If you don't do that, then you're displeasing God. even though it didn't feel like me. I took people's criticisms and judgments and eventually started criticizing my own self. After a while, apparently, I didn't need people to judge me or criticize me because I was doing it for myself. That's, boy, that is kind of hitting me kind of hard. When did I start doing that? That's another thing that just snuck up on me. I'm holding my own self back because I'm talking myself out of things. I'm not taking risks and taking chances on opportunities because I'm telling my own self all the reasons it could fail, all the reasons it ain't gonna work. Well, now I never know because I didn't even try. I became my harshest critic. I prevented myself from taking on challenges and risk and pursuing things I wanted because of the fear of failure and the fear of criticism. And another thing that I'm realizing is that, at least is my belief, that harsh criticisms and harsh judgments, whether they were from other people or from me, I think led me to perfectionism. Because I don't want, nobody to criticize me, I gotta make sure everything is right. I don't know how many times I sat down to record this video before I finally said it's good enough. It is good enough. Just put it up already. And that's what looking back now on my life, that's what I've done a lot in my life. Trying to put in whatever effort, whatever work I have to put in to make sure everything is right, is done right, so nobody can say anything. And I wear myself out. I burn my own self out. I've always been an anxious person, but add on that perfectionism, and man, my anxiety is crazy. My anxiety is through the roof. Apparently, I grew up to be critical, judgmental, but I guess that's what happens to people who are judged harshly. They themselves judge others harshly. It's just bad all the way around. It's just bad. I grew up trying to meet impossible standards. Just increase the anxiety that I already have. Even though we all know there's no such thing as perfection. But that didn't stop me. That didn't stop me from trying. Because I'm also stubborn to boot. And like I said, a life of that just led to burnout. I burned out from work. I burned out from church. Just burned out. I don't know, just burned out in life, period. Trying to be good enough for everybody everywhere. Just got me exhausted. It's exhausting trying to meet other people's expectations. And I regret that now that I'm in my 50s, I'm just seeing this. But with these reflections, I've definitely made some decisions. And these are my decisions, not based on what other people think. These are my decisions. And what I've decided is that from this point forward, I'm going to do my best to live the remaining of my life on my terms. I mean, if I can't be grown now, when can I be grown? So I'm going to focus on learning to trust my own judgment, meaning not the judgy part of me. That part I'm going to try to learn to ignore or not hear as loud. I don't want to give that judgy part space to rule. But the inner voice, my inner voice that seems to have quieted over the years, that's the voice. I'm going to learn to trust myself, essentially. And I'm just determined to live my life my way. I mean, I don't plan on doing nothing big and grand. I just want to make my own choices because those are the choices that I want to make without being concerned about what other people think. Because like I'm realizing now that I'm in my 50s, I would think that at this point I've probably lived more days than I have left to live. I'm so looking forward to, it sounds so lame, but a new chapter in my life. But it's true, I'm looking forward to this new phase of life. Looking forward to setting boundaries where I had not set them before. I'm looking forward to living my life in a way that's me, not in a way that pleases others, or in a way that I have to always be concerned about upsetting others, or I got to worry about me, hurting others' feelings. And look, I'm not out here to hurt nobody's feelings, but I'm also not out here to be unhappy. My life is going to be my life from now on.